Thank you all for coming out on short notice. Late this afternoon, Chief of Police came into my office with a series of videotapes. In those tapes, which you'll see very shortly, there were a series of vignettes, a series of skits that are among the most offensive, egregious skits that I've seen as San Franciscan, not just as mayor of San Francisco, that show members of the San Francisco Police Department, disproportionate number from the Bayview, Hunters Point station, involved in skits that mock the African American community, that mock the Asian community, that mock the transgender community, and mock women in general.
This is a dark day, an extremely dark day in the history of the San Francisco Police Department. For me as the chief to have to stand here to share with you such egregious, shameful, and despicable acts by members of the San Francisco Police Department.
Hello, my name is Dr. Alan W. Benner. I'm a police psychologist, and I have some comments to make about the Bayview Comedy tape.
Police officers that work in rough neighborhoods like the Bayview, we have to find an outlet.
Comedy is an essential tool for the survival of law enforcement officers. Without it, there's no balance.
That station was our station of Fort Apache of the Bronx. They recovered over 2,000 weapons.
Guns on top of guns on top of guns.
They'd lost 2 of their members.
We had just, from about a year prior, just reeled in the death of Isaac Espinoza.
In 2004, we had just lost Officer Isaac Espinoza to gunfire.
The death of Isaac Espinoza left most officers at Bayview Station and most officers throughout the department feeling very sad and empty and angry and hurt and scared.
They were constantly the focus of media attention because it was the murder capital of the city.
The onslaught of calls, shootings that we were constantly responding to.
Certainly no civilian on the street is going to be able to fully understand and fully know what it feels like to see a 15-year-old with half his brain hanging out from a gunshot. And we get there and you're the first one there and you have blood on you.
One of the things that I would teach recruit classes is that they were going to be assaulted with things that made them sad, that made them revolted, that just tore their heart out.
After what we see and endure on a daily basis, there really is nothing that is going to offend us or offend our senses.
What it's like to see a dead baby that's 4 or 5 months old, or what it's like to search a house for a gunman who has just shot up half the neighborhood.
Just the everyday stress of being a law enforcement officer.
The unit was feeling isolated, under pressure, overworked, overwhelmed.
The officers were overwhelmed.
Bayview Station, being at that time was really low in morale.
There is no safe haven for us in that we're allowed to discuss or have a way to deal with the emotions of the job.
One way to deal with that, at least short term, was to use irreverence and exaggeration and to blow it up and to make fun of themselves and of the situation and of the milieu in which they work.
Comedy keeps us from being stressed. Comedy keeps us loose, and it keeps us actually focused on the job.
That comedy video was needed. It was very important that it was done because we hadn't laughed in a long time, and that was just the medicine that we needed.
The video out of Bayview makes entirely good sense to me, psychologically and personally.